River Brewing Company, Moline, Illinois, has its own pace, in its own style, and its own way of getting things done. Not only are they putting out some unique brews, they're also putting out some amazing food in the kitchen. Join me as I go into the kitchen with head cook Rich Evans and make some great food, starting off with some cheese curds.
Okay, so what you do is put your hand in there.
Okay, we're gonna go right here and we're just going right in.
Stir it up.
Get a real good coat on that.
Yep.
Oh, look at that, that's good, real good. And then
And then
are you
throw it
going
in
right
there.
in
Yep.
there? All right.
This is where you gotta like keep track of where you're putting stuff too, because you'll lose them, and then
I was
next
gonna
thing,
say,
yeah.
you're gonna lose. I mean, these are fine cheese curds. You're gonna lose a lot in this
It's a needle
buttermilk
and
here.
it's definitely a needle in a haystack
milk
thing.
on milk on. Oh, yeah, one more. I got a little one. There you go. Got him.
And see, we gotta do it again.
Oh, we gotta do them again.
So you know, and then I get them up
jeez.
like this.
And you're searching through and you're trying to find all
And
of them.
yeah, you want to get I mean, you're gonna maybe lose one or two of them, but
Sure.
it does take a little.
Oh, you gotta go more than once.
Yeah.
And
Otherwise,
is that where like the puffy layeredness come from?
well, with ours, like I noticed when I first started making them, we were doing one layer, but they were just like greasy, like balls of cheese,
Sure,
and it's like
sure.
it had no substance to it. And
that's
by
why-
the time it got to the table, they would be
Right in there.
just not appetizing. And I was
Yeah.
like, yeah, I'm gonna try double. And man, they form this wonderful coat on
I
them.
love a nice fluffy cheese curd for the breading, and I love that so much more than a panko.
Oh.
I love that so much more.
You know, we filter every night our fryers, and it's still a mess every single day.
Sure.
So we'll put those off to the side for right
that
now.
set.
Change our gloves.
And then you're going into what? So tell me a little bit about these onions. These are pretty new, huh?
I took red onions and like I pickle onions for my nachos.
Oh, okay.
And I did like 3 weeks ago. I was sitting around and I was like, I wonder what these taste like pickled or breaded and fried. And so I was like, I fried some of the
Sure.
onion straws that I have, and it was like everybody was like, these are amazing. And then I'm like, I guess I'll try to do some onion rings.
Yeah, that's got a great color to it. So tell me, how long have you been soaking these?
These are on 2 days now.
2 days.
And usually it takes about like 6 to 7 hours before they really get to their like look
Optimal acidity.
look like they're been soaked in wine or something.
Yeah.
And it's just
Smells great.
it's a lot of sugar. Like if you like sugar, you'll love them.
Oh, I do. Nice sweet onions here. Okay.
And then we shake them
give
out.
a little shake here.
We're gonna drop them into this batter right here, into our beer batter.
Okay, going right in here. And this is, wow, it's sticky, and getting it all covered with your flour, that's gonna be trouble.
Oh, I go through so many gloves. It's and what like right here is a good tip for even like just
Working
breading
at
at home.
Yeah.
You always want to just keep adding like fresh flour in, because what
Just
happens,
keep
it
adding
gums
to
it
it.
up, and
Yeah.
then they stick to each other. And as you put the
You're sitting
dry on
you're
there,
working,
yeah,
you're breaking it up as
Yep.
you're going along. Yeah.
getting them separated again. Same thing as the cheese curds, you know what I mean? Because otherwise
Right.
you just make a giant mess every time.
Right.
Yeah, it's harder
Trying
to find these.
Oh,
Yeah.
jeez. Needle
These
in a
ones,
haystack
these
for
are even
sure.
worse than the cheese curds, because they'll just hide on you. Like they just feel like a clump.
Oh, is that? Oh, yeah. What do we got here?
Oh, this is our hot bite. This is
Hot bite.
what this is. It's kind of like a Bent River thing they've been doing for a while. It's a half a jalapeno filled with Cajun cream cheese and wrapped in bacon. We deep fry them for until they're golden and pretty. They're pretty nice looking on a plate.
I bet that crisps up really nice.
I have we smoke pastrami, pulled pork, brisket, and turkey, and each one has a different smoke, like different process.
Right.
I mean, it takes turkey takes like 6 hours to smoke compared to like the pastrami can take 12 to 14
Wow.
hours, and yeah, it's like I started in the morning. Sometimes these guys like if it
jeez.
isn't done perfect, we're doing 15 hours, and they're like, hey, I'm here at midnight still. Like, this sucks. And so right now, since we got the bread on, I'm gonna drop all of our fried items. There goes the onion rings first. We'll do the cheese curds second. Hot bite, like these two will cook way faster than the hot
Sure.
bites, but what I do is I try to time it so when I'm plating my meat platter, I'm not, like those
not
are still
gonna-
cooking and they're not sitting there getting terrible.
Right.
I'm always a plate person. I like to set up all my stuff first.
Yeah, you were hustling and bustling.
And then, like normally, like both these they cook super fast. Like brisket is by far, like you don't want to go too far. You get it starts browning on the outside, and Then you got toughness, and nobody wants a piece of tough meat.
Tough brisket's pretty bad, man.
Oh gosh.
That could be rough. He's going right on it. That's a lot of pulled pork, man.
Now, this is the brisket.
That smells great.
This is by far, I think, our best meat. Like the pastrami here is phenomenal.
I've been told it is amazing, and I can't wait.
Even the old cook, he was just or the old chef here was just like, man, your pastrami is pretty freaking good. We'll put the curds on this plate.
Whoa, that's a pound.
Yeah, at first we were giving out like, it was a lot less than this, but man, it makes your plate look so much better when you got a big old pile like that.
That looks absolutely incredible. Thanks for that dusting. That looks awesome.
And these are our hot bites. This is what they come out and actually turn out to look like. They're another thing. Everything here is like a little spicy, but not terribly spicy to where you're like sweating or anything.
Sure.
Even our nachos are a little spicy, but again, I'm at the point I don't like spicy food, so and the majority of people, yes, and a majority of the people don't. But you run into like one of our managers here. He makes a hot sauce himself, and some of that stuff I'm like, just stay away from me. Like like he made a habanero one here one day, and I go, yeah, I'm leaving the kitchen. You're killing me right now.
All of this looks good. I can't wait to dive into it, man.
Well, I hope you enjoy it. Like it's a pleasure to like. We all enjoy cooking food here, especially this guy right here.
I can tell. It looks great.
Well, thank you so much.
Thanks, Richard.
Yeah.
But this is really well executed.
And they've been on the menu well over a decade. And every time we think, I mean, we'll never take them off, but if they're not here, we're on my hot bites.
After we help prepare these great flavors, now it's time to sample them. I'm going to sit down with Edub, one of the managers here at Bet River, and sample some of these dishes along with some of their signature beers. Well, we moved our way from the kitchen out to the bar here. I'm with Edub. He's one of the managers down here at Bet River. And we've got some amazing food. I'm sure some amazing beers as well. Richard in the kitchen, seeing him cook this up looks amazing. I want to dive right in, especially these brand new onion rings.
Yeah, those just came out today.
Yeah, tell me, what do we got going on here?
Well, from what I tasted this morning, what we did was we have pickled onions, and then we're like, well, you want to do a spin on that for an onion ring, so we'll take a beer batter, and then we took the pickled onions and said, well, let's try that. And the first one I ate, I could taste the sweetness to it. You get the crunch, it sticks to it. Now, as an onion ring connoisseur, the best thing with onion rings is when you bite it, you don't want that whole onion to pull out. So that's one thing I'm enjoying about these as well. But the flavor, the sweetness mixed with a little bit of the spice.
They're incredibly crunchy. Yeah. I mean, between the beer batter on the outside and the pickle itself is really crunchy. It's holding a lot of that crispness. I'm kind of surprised being soaked in vinegar for so long. It still has that light, nice little crunch.
Yeah, they're tasty. I think they'll be really popular once they hit the menu here. So you guys are getting the debut on them here.
This is good. This is great. Let's go ahead and start walking through some beers here.
Well, where we started here, I mean, if we wanted to start, the Uncommon Coffee Stout is what put us on the map.
This is it.
That's our coffee stout. That's
this is the one you've been brewing forever?
That's the one that if you look up Bent River, you look up coffee stouts, that's what people all over the Midwest know that beer.
And it's nice. It's not too heavy. I'm not feeling a real big weight to it. It's not overly creamy as well.
And that is actually what ranked last I saw on Beer Advocate. That was a 94 ranking on that beer. So I mean, to get a coffee stout like that.
That's
we do a lot of hazy IPAs. We switch out a lot of the hops and the variations. So depending on what hops are coming in or what's available to us, those are going to be what we make our beers with. And we try to get a new beer up on tap usually every week, if not every 2 weeks. There's something new coming out. Our standard beers, like we have flagship beers. The only flagship beer on here that we're going to do will be your next one, which will be your Mississippi Blonde. And that's the beer that, I'd say, like if you came into the brewery, if you went to the restaurant and you're like, well, I drink, say, something fill in the blank light. That's your domestic beer of choice. Yeah. What I would do is I'll turn you on to this. I mean, it's a craft beer, it's an ale, it's not a Pilsner.
Right.
But I mean, it's it's very light. It's easy to transition from this beer, or from a Bud Light or a Miller Lite to this kind of beer.
This is great. These
hot bites.
These hot bites, the bacon wrapped, the idea of bacon wrapping and deep frying something sounds like trouble. But this is really well executed. I really like, once again, the crispness of the jalapeno.
Yeah.
It's not one of those old soggy jalapenos. This is crisp. This is fresh.
Right, and another thing, like when we talk about the onion ring, how the onion doesn't come out. Well, you're not sliding out the jalapeno. You eat a popper, and like everything just comes out. Like the consistency of those, and they've been on the menu well over a decade. And every time we think, I mean, we'll never take them off, but if they're not here, where are my hot bites? So they want to know where their food is because they love them.
That's got a lot of jalapeno, a lot of heat to it, but also a lot of creamy goodness too.
Right. Well, you balance that out, and that's what the goal is. I mean, you have the ancho ranch, or you could mellow it out a little bit with just a ranch dressing that can actually take some of that heat off for you.
This one's definitely helping take that heat off as well. This is an excellent beer. It's nice, it's crisp, it's refreshing, it's delightful. So now we got our appetizers out of the way.
They are so yummy.
Let's move on to this giant.
So here we have the
Platter
three.
meat.
Yeah, here we have the 3-meat platter, and with our platter, looks like you guys got the pastrami, the brisket, and the pulled pork today.
Yeah.
So these are all made in different sandwiches. We have them in combinations in wraps. We have them on burgers. We have them on just their own specific sandwiches as well on the menu.
That's
But
a lovely, smoky, salty bite.
Oh,
for
and the
this
tenderness on that, you're not gonna beat it.
pastrami. Man, I'm ready for another beer here. What do we got here?
What are we moving to? Now we're gonna catch up to Christmas here. This is our seasonal Christmas stout.
Okay.
This is called the Jingle Java, and it's also a coffee stout. We put this
Okay.
out. Every year it seems to be getting sooner, like earlier and earlier, because it's so popular. We do, in the summertime, it's such a popular beer that we do Christmas in July. So we'll release this in July, and people just come in growler after growler and fill them up all day long.
That's got a great little sweet flavor
So
to it, doesn't it?
you're picking up on some of those
Ooh.
hints that aren't just a straight coffee flavor. So now you're picking up on some of the vanilla, I'm sure. You're
A lot of
catching,
vanilla.
Yep, you're catching those.
Let me grab a cheese curd
We
here.
do that. Now cheese curds, we hand bread our own cheese curds here. They're fried the same way we were going to do our onion rings or and our hot bites. I mean, you can't really go wrong with a block of cheese,
You can't go wrong with a block of cheese. It's good. I love that. It's that light, crisp breading. It's not that panko. It's not too heavy. This is really good. And once again, hand breaded.
All
You're
fresh. Right.
Not fresh, not frozen
Yep.
out of a
Yep.
bag. It's meat that's been smoked yesterday.
Correct. Right.
If not today. That's amazing.
Yeah. If anything, what we want prep intensive food that is easy to execute when we get to the brewery, because sometimes you're in for a quick lunch or you're having dinner, but we don't want food that takes 25 minutes for you to get to the table.
People like the idea of fresh, and what we got here is fresh. And this pulled pork is tremendous.
Yeah.
It's got that wonderful, thick, smoky flavor to it.
And what you're noticing, I don't know if you guys are noticing this, but he's not dipping anything in barbecue sauce. He's not slathering it, and you're not needing to dip all these things in all these little ranch sauces.
I don't need to bring sugars and other things. This meat is doing enough work as it is, especially that pastrami.
What's
that
that?
is absolutely fantastic.
Glad you like it.
All right, what do we got here?
If we're gonna
What's
move
the
on,
last here?
this beer we just tapped yesterday. This is the Dreamsicle Pastry Sour. Now this beer is made with a cara, pink guava, and vanilla. Sweet and tart.
Whoa!
Now, you've had a creamsicle before.
I've had a creamsicle. This is.
It's like you melted it, put it in the glass, and now you're drinking
That's
it.
exactly what this is. This is not. Cracking open a hams over here. This is.
No.
And that's what beer's amazing because.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
I love them on hams.
Yeah.
But this is incredible. I cannot believe the amount of flavors that I'm getting here. Oh man.
But that's our brand new sour. Like I said, we try to keep up with what the kids want, and kids want hazy IPAs. They want sours, and our brewers do an amazing job of just getting those flavors and make sure that everything's fresh.
You've got your old standbys, which are delightful and are solid year after year after year, but also keeping up with the times and being able to experiment and try to do something radically different. You're definitely doing that. Everything's been absolutely amazing, E-Dubs.
Super happy you guys
wonderful.
are enjoying it.
I can't wait to dive a little bit more into this meat for sure, and some really excellent beer.
Awesome.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks,
in.
brother. Appreciate you.
With great flavors and heaping portions, Bent River Brewing Company certainly is a place you should be checking out the next time you're in Moline.